Can you still make money uploading notebooks on Amazon KDP? Let's find out. Hello home bosses, my name is Noura Yacobi from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. So in this channel we talk a lot about Amazon KDP. That's one of the ways of making money online by uploading low content books, which are things like notebooks, journals, logbooks, even coloring books and activity books. So how do people normally start uploading books onto KDP? Well, I always say start with simple lined notebooks because they're easy to do. All you have to worry about is the cover, the research, and usually you can find a lined interior free. There's one on my website if you want to grab that. It's so much easier than creating a logbook or a planner because you're only uploading lined paper. But is it still profitable? Can you still make money just uploading notebooks on Amazon KDP? Well, first of all, I'm going to have to say that what I'm going to say next is just my opinion, and you're very welcome to disagree with it. And a lot of people probably disagree with me on this. I always say start with lined notebooks and then move on to something else, because to me lined notebooks is just the beginning. And I'm not sure that lined notebooks are that easy to make money with on Amazon KDP. Think about it. There's thousands and thousands of lined notebooks. So when you buy a lined notebook, what do you base your decision on? Well, it would have to be the cover. But most people, if we're honest, they are driven by price. Notebooks are something that I, for example, use every day, and I use quite a few of them. And all I want is something cheap that I can use and then throw away once I'm done with it. So it's not often that I keep a notebook. And I think if you're going to pay more money, which I think the minimum that I always charge for my notebooks is $6.99, and I wouldn't go any lower than that because I always think that if you're making a book, it has to be worth making. There has to be a good profit in it. And I'm not sure whether people are willing to pay that much just for a lined notebook, just to take notes. However, saying all of that, there is a good way of still making money with notebooks, and that is to target the gift market. So if you're making a lined notebook that is targeted at a specific niche, and that's a gift idea rather than a notebook. For example, I have a few notebooks that are quite funny. They have a funny cover and they're targeted to specific niches. So you could target, for example, people that love gardening, or you could target people that love knitting, or you could target Mother's Day, you could target Father's Day. So it's almost an alternative to a gift card. So how much nicer is it to give someone a lovely notebook with a really nice cover as a gift to wish them happy birthday or to wish them a happy Mother's Day? So there is a market for that kind of notebook, definitely. So I would make notebooks that are an alternative to gift cards, and they can sell still. I have a few notebooks like that, and they make the odd sale. I wouldn't say that I could earn a living from those notebooks, but they tick over, and if you have a lot of them, you can still make money that way. But I've also recently noticed a lot of people wanting to create notebooks in different colors or just putting a design on them, and I've done that myself. I've made notebooks that have a really good design on the cover, and they are not selling that well. And the reason for that is because I think there is a big market already on Amazon with big brands that design fantastic covers. All you have to think of is, for example, Cath Kidston, Ted Baker. Really huge designers are designing stationery these days, and they do a lot of notebooks as well. So if people are paying a little bit more money for a notebook, they probably want a notebook designed by a well-known designer or by a well-known stationery brand at least. So when we come along and we put our designs on notebooks, they're not that well-known, and it's really difficult to rank under all the Amazon notebooks and to be seen, especially if you're not targeting a niche and you're just relying on your design. And I think you will find that that's not going to work. But as always, give it a try. Nothing that I say is necessarily your own experience. In your experience, you may do really well with notebooks. So it's just a matter of trying. But I would also say, if you try and then it doesn't work, then just do something different and know that it's not because low content book publishing doesn't work. It's just because notebooks are very saturated. It's a very competitive market. There are so many notebooks out there with really good designs and with well-known designers designing them, and people go to well-known designers. So don't let it put you off, just try. But my opinion is that to really make money with notebooks, you have to have a niche that really works for you, and you have to look at it from a gift market point of view, so that it's a gift that you can give. And that way I find my notebooks are still selling. But if it's just down to the design, the cover design, I find that market really hard to break into. But it's up to you, of course, and you can try and see if it works for you. But what other kind of books can you make if notebooks are not what's working for you? Well, once you have created a few notebooks and you know the system, you know the process, you know how to upload, you can then try and make your own interiors. You can try and make planners. You can make logbooks. There are so many different interiors that you can make, and there are lots of interiors that are already made for you to use. I know that Tangent Templates, which I absolutely love, has got fantastic templates, interiors that you can use, and you can even modify them in their own interior design software, which comes with Tangent Templates. Or you could upload it onto Canva, convert it to a PNG first, upload them to Canva, and then add designs to modify them. Another good software you can use is BookBold, and BookBold actually has templates that are free. So you could try their free templates and see how you get on, and again, learn the process. I used a lot of free templates when I first started. I modified them a little bit, but they are generic templates. So a notebook can be lined paper, and it's fine if you just upload it as it is. So can a .grid journal. You can upload that as it is. You can upload a lot of generic interiors as they are without having to modify them, because that's by their nature, that's what they are. So a lined notebook is a lined notebook. And if you want to make something a little bit more complicated, you can do that on Canva, which is what I use, but you can use any software to make your interiors. And people sometimes ask me, well, what is the best software to create your interiors? The best software is the one that you feel comfortable with and that you like using and that you enjoy using. I do everything on Canva now. I started with PowerPoint, and I was fine with PowerPoint. I think it's an excellent program to make interiors and covers. And then I started using Canva, and I just felt a little bit more in tune with Canva, and that's what I've been using ever since. And I also bought Affinity Designer, and it's just too much of a learning curve for me at the moment, so I haven't even used it. But when I have the time, I will try and use that. But as I said, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever works for you, and whatever gets the job done, that's the software that I would use. So don't worry about which one is best. The best one is the one that you are able to use and that you enjoy using. So for me, that is Canva, no doubt about it. And I know some people don't agree with that, but I carry on making my books on Canva, and I'm quite happy with it. And it works for me. So I do make quite a lot of books, and the ones that are most successful for me are kind of prompted journal type books where you're asking people a question and they can write their answer into that journal. Those are the ones that work very well for me, but there are so many other books that you can make. So talking about lined notebooks and whether you can still make money with them, I think you can, but it's not as easy as other types of books. So I would say start with lined notebooks if you're a beginner, but if you're not a beginner, I think you really need to progress onto something else. And if you've got some lovely designs that you want to use and you're thinking of making notebooks, think about it this way. Maybe put them onto other books like logbooks or planners, because I think that way you are targeting a wider audience or a more specific audience. If people are looking for a planner, then they will probably look at different designs and choose the one they like best. Whereas when people look at notebooks, I think they go a lot on price as well. I mean, you can buy a pack of 5 notebooks on Amazon very cheaply compared to one notebook. But saying that, there are many people that love using really pretty notebooks, good looking notebooks, and they will pay a little bit of money for that. So it really depends on your audience. But in my opinion, and as I said, it's only my opinion, you may think differently and it's absolutely fine. In my opinion, notebooks are more difficult to sell unless you really target them to a specific niche or you target the gift market. So what do you think? Let me know in your comments what your opinion on this is. I'm sure we all have different opinions, and that's fine. That's what makes the world go round. So let me know in the comments. Do you do well with notebooks? Like I said, I mean, I'm not selling that many. I prefer to sell other types of books. But let me know if there's one of you who sells a lot of notebooks. I'd be really interested in hearing that. And also because I think it would give other people a bit of encouragement if they knew that notebooks can still sell. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you for watching. Oh, and don't forget to join our Facebook group, because you can ask any amount of questions there. And we've got a really lovely, warm, welcoming group now, and I'd love to see you there so we can chat. See you there. Bye-bye.